Hi everyone, how's it going? I'm back with another EV training. This time I'm going to be going over IV Seed Bomb and how to use it as a juggling tool. So IV Seed Bomb is a surprisingly good move that I think a lot of people really underrate. It comes out, the first hitbox comes out on frame 10, which is only one frame slower than up air. And in addition to hitting above her and then coming back down, so it stays out for a really long time, similar to Toon Link's Boomerang, you can also angle it. Which is really nice because it means that even if you're off by a little bit, if you recognize where you are in relation to your opponent, then you can still hit them even if you're not directly at a vertical, like on the same vertical line as they are. So I think it's a really, really strong juggling tool to keep people up in the air and put pressure on them to make them do what you want, even if you're not necessarily going to hit them with the seed bomb. And that's what I see a lot of people really trying to do right now, is their focus is, oh, they're up there, I want to hit them with the seed bomb. And that makes sense to an extent, because let me just go over a couple examples right here. Seed Bomb is a really scary move to get hit by. So you can see here, it combos into Beam on pretty much anyone who's midweight or higher. So like there's nothing he can really do there. He gets hit by the Seed Bomb, and then there's no DI that really gets him out of Seed Bomb Beam at that percent. And so it's really scary to get hit by. If you're high up near the blast zone, or if you're a floatier character, the Ness, it can also just kill you off the top. Especially if someone is trying to jump away from you, or you just hit them up with an up air and you don't have a true follow-up. It has really high base knockback, and when they're that high up to the blast zone, it can really set up for some nice kills that happen really early. So it's a really scary move to get hit by, and that's really important to understand for what I'm about to cover, because the way that I approach using Seed Bomb is one of three broad goals, which is trying to hit them, obviously. If you can hit them, you do damage, you keep them in the air, they're not able to land, maybe you give yourself better stage position, what have you. But the other two are really important too, which is trying to hit where you think they're going to be, or trying to put a seed bomb out where you don't want them to be in order to control space. And so that's mainly what I'm going to be covering. So you can see there's that example. I think I have another one here that's just why seed bomb is so scary to get hit by. I get the up air, nothing I can really do after, that's true. And then he stalls his way into it, and that sets up for beam. And that goes into what I'm about to cover right now, which is where you think they're going to be. So in that case, I knew that Ivy has no true follow-ups if we go back after the up air, basically. After the up air, Ivy has no true follow-ups. And certainly after that seed bomb, I have nothing else I can do. I can do immediate double jump up B if I really want it to kind of go all out. But up B won't kill him at 50, and it's a risk if I miss. Or I can put out a seed bomb that comes out pretty fast, allows me to cover a wide range of angles depending on if I pick correctly or not, and is still going to potentially combo into kill. In this case, it comboed into seed bomb because of the percent that he was at and the way that he was DIing. And so it's a really scary thing to do, and so I said, risk-reward. If you look at the risk-reward, which I covered a little bit in my video on, I think it was Jags vs. Kala, I think the risk-reward for Seed Bomb is really good for Ivy because there's almost no risk relative to going for an up B that puts you in helpless state, and because Ivy's a floaty, that can make it really easy to get punished. And so it's a much safer juggling option as well that can be a little bit more consistent. So, like I said, one of the other goals that you can have when you use Seed Bomb is trying to hit where they're going. The thing I'm about to pull up right now is a super old video, I think it's like 2016, but it's also a great example of what I mean. So if you watch here, okay, there we go. So you can see here, I do it. I have nothing out of up air at this percent, but I can put that seed bomb, and it does two things. If he fades this way, like just DI, it has a slightly different DI on the up air, aerial drift once he regains control of Roy, he'll get hit by it, and then I have beam, and I could do it into beam. Or, like I said, the base knockback is super high, he was at 100, and he jumps into it. I put it where I thought he might be, and he killed himself off the top. And that's something that you can really do as well. You can either do very directly like that. I think there's another example here. I want to come back to this example later. This is another... I'll get to that one in a second. I'll just talk about this for now. But yeah, so basically the idea here is that really, if you aim for where the opponent is, that only continues to work if they continue on the same path that they were. So in this case, if he had continued going straight up, then I could have put a seed bomb here that would have worked. If we go back to one of the clips here, I get the down throw. This only connects if he goes straight up, because I'm aiming for where he is, and that's fine while he's in hit stun. But a lot of the time, the reason why you use seed bomb is because they're not going to be in hit stun. They have the ability to double jump out. They have the ability to put out a hitbox maybe below them to beat out the seed bomb. They have the ability to move in either side. They can air dodge all around them. And so a large part of what you're going to be doing with seed bomb is trying to figure out where are they going and how do I hit that. So in this case, I read the double jump. In this case right here, the first one is just out of down throw, pretty straightforward. The second one, he stalls into it. So I hit where he was going, and then it sets up perfectly for beam. And the third one, which is maybe the most important because it's what ties all of these together, is also hitting where you don't want them to go. So you can go, let me pull up another example right here. Okay, so this is a really easy one. I put out the seed bomb. He's so desperate to avoid it, which is fair, because like we've said, we've just seen what I can do if I hit you with seed bomb, that he uses his double jump. But now that he's used his double jump, so he gets hit with the first one, and then side B's double jumps away. But now he has no double jump with which to land, and he doesn't use his side B. So he's cut off his own resources by trying to land. And that's a big part of juggling theory in general. You'll see Marth players, or really any sword character, talk about this a lot. It's just, it doesn't matter if you have them in a true combo. If you can remove their resources with which they can get back to the ground, that's just as good. And that's exactly what happens here. Sure, I don't hit him with the seed bomb, but I did make him use his double jump to avoid it. And now he doesn't have that double jump to avoid when I come in with the back air, and then I combo him to death with something that shouldn't have killed. But the point is that I forced him, even though I didn't hit him with it, I forced him to use his own resources. And that's a pretty drastic example, because they won't always use their double jump. But even something as simple as how they DI. Like if you watch here, for example, I take even better advantage of it, because it's not just about positional advantage. I have a setup that I like to use quite a lot, where I say, you know, you've become accustomed to either me hitting where you are or where I think you're going to, and so your only reaction when you see that seed bomb come out is, how do I get away from it? And so you can see Samus tends, they have pretty good aerial mobility. They try to get away, maybe put a down B out to stall, and that's exactly what happens here. So if we go back a little bit, seed bomb goes up, Samus goes this way. What's at that angle to Ivy's way? Solar beam. And that is a really good example of how, even though you had no true combo, you didn't hit them with the seed bomb, but you did directly force them to do something that they either didn't want to do or might not have even realized was an option for you, because they were so focused on getting away from that seed bomb that they forgot you have beam. They forgot to avoid that 45-degree angle. I think there's another one right here where I do basically the same thing. I hit him, I get the up air, he's here. Really, seed bomb can't hit at this angle, but it doesn't hurt to be safe, and so I do that, he moves away, and I catch him this time with the fair first and then beam. But it's the same concept. It's the fact that you can use seed bomb to force them out of the area in which you couldn't beam them. Because if we go back to that first example, just because it's a really easy one to show. There's that, give me a second. So right here, this is perfect angle for seed bomb. Because if you do seed bomb, the way you can angle it in the air is a little bit different from the way you angle it on the ground. On the ground you have a lot more angles that you can use, but even in the air, I can still cover really this whole space if I want to. That's also the space that is too high for me to beam, because really, so this is about the line. If I jump back like this, I can beam here. If I jump back, I can beam there, but I can't really get up here. And that's where seed bomb covers. So he goes, I want to avoid seed bomb, and by doing that, he inadvertently places himself in a position where I can beam. Now he's diagonal to me because I was able to jump back and cover that space right there. Let me see. And so this, basically everything I'm talking about right now relies on you using all three of these things. Hitting them, hitting where you think they're going to be, and hitting where you don't want them to be. Because that's what makes it very difficult to counterplay seed bomb juggling. If you do one thing every time, say you always try and hit them, then they know they just have to double jump out. They need to drift away, they need to clank the seed bomb with an aerial below them, and they start getting out of it. Likewise, if you only hit where you think they're going to be, then when you throw out the seed bomb, they just won't move. They'll just continue to fall at their normal trajectory, and you won't hit them. And normally those two go together, so it's pretty rare that you'll only see an Ivysaur hit where they think you're going to go. And then you can see a great example. I think it's the one right after. Yeah, so I have a couple examples as well of now I've played people who have learned, okay, this is what Sabre is looking for. He wants to hit me with this seed bomb and to combo into something, or he wants me to do something that's very punishable. It could be double jumping out, it could be air dodging, so I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to give him what he wants. And if we fast forward a little bit, look what happens. So I get a combo, I get a dash attack that pops him up, and he knows, because this is the same player I hit with that seed bomb beam at the beginning of the set, so he knows that seed bomb is scary, but he also knows what happens if he double jumps, because I've played him before, so he doesn't. He just drifts out, he magnet stalls, but what happened is I then forced him again into a position where I could kill him because he didn't do anything. An even better example is right here. So I'm gonna hit him with a seed bomb that has no right to hit. He's absolutely at hit stun. He could put out an air, he could put out down air. There's no reason for this to hit and kill him, and yet it does. He puts out a forward air. Why does he do that? Because this is, again, someone who's played with me. It's someone who's learned that I have this mix-up where if I put the seed bomb out here, it's because I'm either expecting you to go there, or it's because I have some other plan and I'm trying to manipulate you to go there. And so, for him, he was more focused on the bigger picture. What am I trying to do with this seed bomb? Am I trying to trick him into something that he doesn't realize is happening? And especially if you're focused on a whole bunch of other things, like survival DI, making sure that you keep all your resources, don't burn your double jump on accident. It can be hard to keep track of the exact angle that I'm sending a seed bomb at. So in this case, you can see he put out, I think it was forward air, because he thought I was going to put the seed bomb out that way, in case he went that way, and he tried to clank it, and then I killed him for it. And so that's really where this comes together, is if you do just one of these things, then they always know what to do about it. But in this case, this was someone who has Ivysaur experience, knows exactly what they can be doing against seed bomb, but also has learned from past experience that if they try to double jump out or escape, that they might die for that. And in this case, they were tricked into doing nothing, and they still died, because it's all about being able to mix them up. It's all about being able to control space with seed bomb and make them feel threatened, even though you don't have a true combo. Because most of the time you'll be using seed bomb is in a situation like this, where he's out of hit stun, he's well above me, where I can't hit him with up B, I can't hit him with up air. And yet I was still able to do something because I kept him in this positional disadvantage, where he had to do something to interact with my seed bomb in order to not die from it. But as I've been talking about, that something that he does to avoid dying from seed bomb can still get him killed if you're one step ahead of him. And so it's absolutely, this really falls under EV training, and kind of the difference that I was trying to make between EV training and optimizing Ivy, because this is not a true thing at all. This is just having a better understanding of your options and how they interact with your opponents. And this is something that I'd really like to see Ivy's thinking about and understanding, and not even just with Ivy. This applies to characters who, like Toon Link, who's trying to keep you up in the air with bombs, Snake with grenades, or really anyone who tries to juggle with up air. Like, this is all applicable in different ways. I've just obviously been tailoring it to the way that Ivy attempts to juggle, because that's what I have the most experience with. So having said all that, hopefully this video was helpful. I know that it's been quite some time since I did an EV training video, or really anything on this channel. I've been busy with Nexus things and working on PM rank and life, but I do want to do these as often as I can. If you have things that you want to hear or see me talk about in terms of how to play Ivysaur, please let me know. I'm always happy to answer questions and things like that. This is just something that I really enjoy thinking about Seed Bomb. I think it's just, all the theory behind this stuff I think is really cool, which is why I ended up doing this video. But if there's something that you'd like to see, I'll put it on my list and hopefully get to it at some point. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and feel free to hit me up with any questions in the comments.